Okay.
As long
All
as you
right.
pitch, like the last 2 days of the relief pitcher.
Well, while we're waiting, let's give a shout out to the receptionist at the Hampton Inn. If you're visiting the Colorado Springs greater area, check in there and then check them out.
Danny, I'm gonna have to request that you pronounce it correctly. It's Colorado.
Let's also give a shout out to Line Star Jersey, the
Yes, definitely.
online gambling aid. I don't know. They do player props mostly. We won their home run contest just by reposting their home run contest on a daily basis. They gave us Otani and Showtime hit a home run. We won a free month of Line Star. Sign
Kerplunk.
Jersey up for that. Get
It
any?
is. There's a lot of information. It is awesome. I wish I could get it. I wish I could afford it during football season.
I think they run a similar contest.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a touchdown
Oh, we might have to
instead of
take part
home
in
run.
that. Might have to take part in
Maybe
that.
if you won more in betting, you could afford that jersey.
It's just not worth it to spend that into betting when we have our own system already. Okay.
It's,
It's
it's
more
a
of a
lock.
method.
There's
It's
a
a
method to the method.
philosophy and a theory.
Barrett, it's flawless. It's flawless. It's a lock every day.
It locks in no profits. I
Well,
agree.
listen, we could have bet the entire account last night. That Cooper Flag would have been the first pick, and we would have won probably like a penny because they were. You needed to bet $100,000 to win 100 before tip off. Well, I mean before the first pick. So much of a lock that was, Barrett. That's the type of fucking bet that serves absolutely no purpose. The guy who was picked second, you had to bet 20,000 to win 100 that he was going to be picked second. That's how much of a lock he was for second. Now those are boring. Those bets are kind of boring. Now I want to bet somebody else to be with it to beat the guy that was 100,000 to for 100. That's my kind of guy right there, Barrett. Unfortunately, you would have lost your money, but that's still my kind of guy. You're not that kind of guy. You're the guy. Let me throw down like 100 on that minus 100,000. I'll take a couple pennies. Nothing wrong with a couple pennies. It's more than I started with, right? Go to the penny slots, turn that into millions.
While Jersey catches his breath, we're going to remind you that tonight's playlist is brought to you by the letter D.
D, 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 doggy. D, D, dangerous dragon. D, 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 donkey, ducky, dinosaur. Oh, D, 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 dinner. D, 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 delicious. D, 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 don't drop dishes down on the floor. Do a dance, dig some dirt, dunk a donut for dessert. Draw a daisy that's delightful to see when D is handy. It's fine and dandy. D, 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 D is such a very nice letter. Each day I like it better. That lovely letter called D. You know, there are all kinds of words that begin with the letter D. There's doctor and dentist and dime, dollar, daddy, door, dandelion, and draw a daisy that's D, delightful to see when D is handy. It's fine and dandy. D, 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 D is such a very nice letter. Each day I like it better. That lovely letter called D, 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 D. Having fun, but now I'm D, 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 done.
Back to live action now. It's bottom